Ang programang ito tatakbo initially hanggang 2016, from 2012 to 2016, so mga 4 to 5 years siguro yun. Dito, initially, for nutrition, maghahanap tayo ng mga fish meal substitutes, magkakaroon tayo ng mga tamang pagkain para sa alagang hayop, at siguraduhin natin na yung mga pagkain na ito hindi costly, ang supply ay sapat para naman kumita yung ating mga fish farmers. Sisiguruhin din na sa paggamit ng tamang pagkain sa isda ay magkakaroon tayo ng good quality fish products na magiging sapat sa kalusugan ng tao, at saka makapagbenta tayo sa abroad, no, na ating mga produkto. So magiging export quality seafood product siya. Ang ikalawang gagawin ng program na ito ay yung mga diagnostic procedures para ma-monitor at magka-surveillance ng mga diseases will be in place. So, meron tayong tinatawag na level 1, level 2, level 3 diagnostic methods. Yung level 1, level 2, gumagamit ng mga conventional methods para sa makita kung anong mga diseases ang nasa sistema. Yung level 3 naman, more modern methods involving molecular techniques para ma-ensure na makontrol natin yung mga diseases at hindi tayo mapasukan ng mga bagong diseases. Lalo na nag-intensify ang aquaculture, mas maraming diseases na pwedeng pumasok doon sa sistema. Wala pa yata tayo doon sa gagawa tayo, mag-genetic engineer tayo ng mga bagong strains para maging more efficient sila in using food, for example. Pero hopefully, we will work on strains that require less, or species that require less fish meal, for example, so that ma-utilize nila smaller amounts of, or minimal amounts of fish meal sa feed. So yun ang ating magiging focus dito sa program na ito. Not really on developing new strains, but finding species that can utilize fish meal much better. Sa food safety naman, ngayon, actually, meron ng mga projects ongoing sa food safety na pinopondohan ng government of Japan. Nagmamonitor tayo ng mga chemicals at saka antibiotics sa mga food products available here locally. We also will bring this to the other Southeast Asian countries like Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, so that we can monitor their seafood products for the presence of these chemicals and antibiotics. kakaroon din tayo ng survey ng mga aquaculture resources for use as ingredients in fish feed, so that we can have an idea of what indigenous ingredients are available in each of these localities in Southeast Asia. Ang aking wish dito sa program na ito, Healthy and Wholesome Aquaculture, magiging part siya ng overall scheme, no, towards sustaining aquaculture, so that this can be profitable for generations to come, so that hindi lang tayo ngayong henerasyon na ito ang nakakapakinabang dito sa ating aquaculture resources, pero ang ating mga anak, mga apo at future generations. Hopefully, these thematic programs can all work together to ensure sustainability, profitability, as well as yung quality ng ating seafood products.
Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Welcome once again to the Aquaculture Department of SEAFDEC. Andito po tayo sa Tigbawan Main Station, which is the main station of SEAFDEC. I am Dr. Junimi Libata Ramos. I am the head of the program leader of the Maintaining Environmental Integrity through Responsible Aquaculture Program. So isa ito sa 5 programs, thematic programs ng department. So, ang main objective ng program namin is to develop technology that will address the environmental impacts of aquaculture. Alam natin na aquaculture was developed to compensate yung mga nakukuha natin sa fisheries na pababa na yung production ng wild stocks. So, ang aquaculture, ang sagot doon na padami yung production natin. However, as we intensify aquaculture, marami yung mga negative impacts na nangyayari sa ating environment. So, one of which is pollution, and then yung isa is habitat destruction or yung losses ng mangroves. Kasi karamihan ng ating mga ponds usually, they were constructed in former mangrove areas. So, napuputol yung ating mga kabakawan. So, ang aming aim sa program is to develop aquaculture and at the same time, save the environment. So, we're doing studies like integrating aquaculture species na ginagamit yung iba-ibang species na may iba-ibang function. Like for example, integrate mo yung oysters and mussels kasi nag-filter sila ng water, so na-absorb nila yung mga nutrients, and at the same time yung seaweeds. So, aside from aquaculture na nagbo-boost ng production, under din sa program yung stock enhancement. So, stock enhancement is we release hatchery-bred animals sa wild environment to increase production. So, like, pag nadagdagan yung mga broodstock doon, dumadami yung ating population ng wild. Pero, we are also emphasizing na yung i-release on a particular environment, dapat doon siya galing. So, doon galing yung broodstock. Tapos ipadamihin sa hatchery, tapos yung maliliit ibabalik doon sa area kung saan siya nanggaling. We promote this type of stock enhancement kasi pag nilagay natin sa ibang lugar yung kinuha natin sa isang particular area na animal, mag-mess up yung genetics. Tapos like also for disease, hindi natin alam yon. So, dapat kung saan natin kinuha yung particular organism, doon natin ibabalik yung kanyang stocks. So, ang basic studies namin ngayon is monitoring the impacts of aquaculture. Like, ako, yung study ko is I closely monitor yung sulfide production because of aquaculture. So, cause ito ng feed inputs, ng fecal matter, yung mga dumi ng mga isda. So, nag-accumulate ito sa sediments, so umi-increase yung sulfide. Tapos, we're looking at species na kayang mag-assimilate ng sulfide to help clean up the environment. So, there are other studies under the program, so one of which is itong sandfish. So sandfish helps improve the quality of the sediment. So may studies on different aspects of sandfish, like mga basic studies pa kasi we have just started working on the species. So most of the studies laboratory scale pa lang. And then we're trying to do some pond and cage culture later. Aside sa mga studies na yon, we're also trying to to look at the impacts of aquaculture on the biodiversity. Kasi nga, yung nilalagay natin doon, and then we're polluting the environment, so tinitingnan natin kung anong impact noon sa other organisms, like sa natural flora and fauna ng ecosystem. So, there are studies na nagmo-monitor kung anong nangyayari sa natural na flora and fauna ng ecosystem kung saan nandoon ang ating aquaculture systems, like the cages, the pens, and the ponds. So far sa stock enhancement, we have stocked 600 pieces of giant clams sa Sagay Marine Reserve, and we have like 70% survival there. Tapos doon sa Igang Marine Station, nag-stock kami ng 300 pieces, and we got the highest survival doon sa station, so mga 90%. So, we're doing another restocking activities sa San Joaquin. So, we have there like 200 pieces in collaboration ito with the LGU kasi they're promoting marine protected areas doon sa kanilang mga barangays. So, ang giant clam, or specifically, yung pinag-aaralan namin is yung Tridacna gaigas. It's the biggest clam under family Tridacnidae. Yun yung karaniwan nating nakikita sa mga resort na nade-decorate, yung sa simbahan. Tapos, it's very important kasi ngayon classified siya as a threatened species. So, in a survey conducted by MSI in the late 80s, yung paper na publish, yung density ng giant clam was like 1 per hectare, 1 piece per hectare. So may survey sila from the north to south of the Philippines. So yung is importante yon sa biodiversity. It's species sa coral reef natin. So nawawala na yung giant clam kasi because of the shell na ginagamit na na decor, and also the meat na masarap daw na sashimi, although hindi rin ako nakatikim kasi nga it's an endangered species, so bawal siyang i-collect. That's why we're trying to repopulate the waters with giant clam. It's also important kasi tourist attraction siya. So like in Lingayen, they have this giant clam garden na for ecotourism, it's also attractive. So yun yung ginagawa namin sa Igang. We have a mini giant clam garden in Igang na nag-a-attract din ng mga tourists from neighboring resorts. So yung isa pa naming work on stock enhancement is yung sa abalone, Haliotis asinina. So we have released like 3,000 already in Sagay Marine Reserve, and we have established the release strategies for the abalone. So yung mga abalone, para ma-determine mo siya or mahiwalay mo ang hatchery produced na abalone sa wild, SEAFDEC has developed the tagging technique for the abalone. So yung nire-release namin na abalone, nakamark yun siya ng permanent na stripe na blue-green na stripe. So develop ito dito sa SEAFDEC yung technology to tag abalone. So we're monitoring the impacts of the releases, and so far okay naman siya. Yung naka-collect namin every month, as high as mga 200% ng samples were from the released abalone. So meaning, nakatulong siya to improve the population. So we're doing monitoring every month. So ang last release namin was done in August last year. So nag 1 year na kami this August. Ang abalone is one of the most expensive and sought after na mollusk. Mahal ito, and ang market niya is usually mga Chinese, kasi very popular ito na delicacy ng Chinese. So pag marami siyang stocks, like that's why nag-release kami sa Marine Reserve para hindi siya makukuha ng fisherman. So ang aim was yung kanilang mga larvae, pag nag-spawn doon yung ni-release sa Marine Reserve, yung larvae niya mag-settle doon sa areas na kung saan sila mag-grow at pwede silang i-collect ng fisherman. So additional income sila sa fisher folk natin. So bali, as I said, we're doing basic studies. So yung minomonitor ko is yung water quality. So yung tinututukan ko is yung milkfish cages sa Igang Marine Station. So, I monitored sulfide, ammonia, phosphate, and things like that. So, yung initial findings na as tumatagal yung culture period, umi-increase yung sulfide content sa sediment. Ang sulfide is poisonous siya. So, maybe that's one factor na nagkukos ng mga fish kills natin. Kasi if we look at the stocking density sa igang namin na cages, it's like 1/5 ng stocking density doon sa reported na stocking density sa Taal na lake ng Bangus. So, if we continue like doing aquaculture in such manner, then we will experience more fish kills, like pabalik-balik na lang siya. So now ang future plans is to look for species na pwedeng mag-assimilate ng sulfide, kasi may mga bivalves na ganon na pwedeng mag-help. So it can be co-cultured with the milkfish or other fish species na kinoculture natin. So in terms of biodiversity, may study na on pond biodiversity and ang biodiversity on the neighboring ecosystem like yung mangroves. Sa next year, gagawin yon sa cages and the surrounding environment. So yun ang mga plans so far. So, ang pinaka-aim natin is to develop a technology na yung aquaculture natin, we continue to produce, but at the same time, malinis yung environment natin. So, we're not producing enough na waste ba, kumbaga, sa environment na makasira dito. So, dapat yung aquaculture natin na i-develop, aquaculture technology, yung environmental friendly siya. para sustainable siya sa environment. Yung first is yung high na stocking density, tapos yung pagbibigay ng feeds na like iasa mo lang sa tao, tapos tapon lang ng tapon ng feeds. Most usually hindi naman nakakain yun ng animals. So pumupunta yun sa sediment, so nagiging waste na siya. So dagdagan pa yun ng mga dumi ng animals mo. So padami yung waste na nag-accumulate. So we're producing a very polluted environment na pati yung sa labas na mga animals na hindi natin kinukulture, namamatay at naapektuhan nung pollution from our aquaculture facilities. The program really hopes na we can develop the technology na maging environmental friendly yung aquaculture. So, in doing like integration, yung using several species, makakadagdag tayo sa economic benefits sa fisherman, and at the same time, nakakatulong tayo sa ating environment. And sana, kung ma-develop yung technology, ma-adapt din siya ng ating mga stakeholders para we have a cleaner and a better environment in